Do not try to catch a bullet in your mouth, ever. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on Mythbusters, can a magician catch a bullet in his mouth? Or is it all an illusion? The first time was done a little bit differently, attempting to catch the bullet as it flew. This time the attempt will be to catch it in a cup in the mouth. The big question is, when this bullet hits this metal cup, how hard will this metal cup hit the person holding it in their mouth? The answer? About this hard. Later in the program, I'll be showing this with a real gun, but the same principles apply with a plastic pellet gun, which is safer and in some ways easier to understand. That kind of hurt, and it'll probably leave a little bit of a red mark there, but with just a thimble there, not a big deal. I could feel it move, but the mass of it took up most of the energy. The momentum, mass times velocity, of the projectile will be conserved in mass times velocity of the cup. And that can be measured with a ballistic pendulum by how far up that pendulum rises. That is called a ballistic pendulum. Bam! Whew. The cool thing about that is if we have any three of these four numbers, we can calculate the fourth. So in this case, we have the mass of the bullet, the speed of the bullet, the weight of the cup in the mouth, and what we're looking for is how fast that cup will be moving after it hits. The question is this going to feel like a butterfly landing on your lips, or is it going to feel like getting hit by a truck? So we calculate this, divide both sides of this equation by 8, and what we get over here is about 6 feet per second. So that is how fast the cup will be moving after it's hit by the bullet. How fast is 6 feet per second? Well, it's about this fast. 1001, or if we go through a little bit more math, we can see that 6 feet per second is about how fast it will be going after falling 6 inches. Well, that doesn't feel like an awful lot of impact, but it's on your teeth. So I've made up this mouth guard to kind of spread out the force, try to avoid broken teeth. After the break, can I catch a bullet in my teeth, or will it be lights out? Today's program was brought to you by the Number 22 and Toga Dan Productions. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. My insurance agent and my lawyer tell me that this is too dangerous for me to do myself. So they've sent in a stunt double, Mr. Pumpkinhead. Don't worry, if he gets shot in the head, he's already a vegetable. I'm placing this piece of plastic in his mouth, basically just to protect me from ricochets. And that is just how tiny this bullet is. I think this is the same round that David Blaine used in his performance. Now my laser sight is a little bit off. I think in order to hit dead center here on the mouth, I'm going to have to aim here. A little easier than adjusting the laser. In case of ricochet, I have my face shield and a ½ inch of plexiglass. We're going to call that failure number 1. Fatal one. Kind of interesting. Bullet entered here, and the bullet is now right up here. It just kind of curved in there. Misfire! I think that was a direct hit. Test shot number 3 seems to have impacted on the edge of it. It did not damage this, but that would probably spray lead right in the magician's face. In slow motion, we see that it did. Hopefully, ricochets will be contained within the metal cup instead of coming back at me. By the way, this weighs half a pound, and don't try it with anything lighter. Don't try this. Just don't try it. I'm also trying it a little different. I'm going to get rid of this, which kind of spreads the force out, because I think that's why it's coming back out of his mouth. I think that if it's really firm in there, maybe he'll hold on to it. Test shot number, what is this? I think that might be a catch. Cut in the cup after several tries. Here it is in slow motion. And again. Let's see it one more time. And what was in the cup? Why, the bullet, of course. Shot in face twice. And we have the bullet caught once. So, even though that this would be a very, very dangerous thing to do, and Mr. Pumpkinhead caught a couple of bullets in his face, he also caught one in the cup. Your life is worth more than a pumpkin, and so is the life of your little brother. Do not try this at home. Thank you. Stay tuned for more science! Because I know the mass of the bullet and the mass of the cup, and also the velocity of the bullet, I can calculate the final velocity of the cup and bullet combined. And that is how I knew that the cup would fall about this hard. Our cartridge weighs in at, can hardly even tell, about a 1/16 of an ounce. While the cup, which will be in the magician's mouth, weighs in at, it's off the scale. The scale only goes to 4 ounces. So we're going to have to improvise. Give ourselves a fulcrum here. And bring in our toys with levers. Set this here so that we have a simple multiplication. I'm going to clip this cup in the middle. And we get just almost 4 ounces. Okay, now we get 4 ounces. Now the distance here is 5.5, and the distance of this lever is 5. So, just to make the math easy, we're going to say that this is double, indicating double of what it is. So it's about 8 ounces, half a pound.